Hello, everybody. We're back with a new episode of Game Analysis. This game's a pretty short game, so we won't have to take too much time to analyze it. The player that sent this game in was playing as the black pieces, so that's why we have the board flipped to see it from the black pieces' perspective. And let's go ahead and just get right into this one. So we have e4, d6, knight c3, knight f6, and g3. This is a more unusual line. Usually you'll see something like d4, g6, f4. This is a more popular line. In this game we see a less played variation with g3. So black plays knight b d7, and the encadering of the bishop, e5, knight g2, bishop e7, d4 c6, and castling. So one thing that white could have considered doing, and this is kind of a typical plan for black and this type of setup, with all of the Perk and modern defenses and all of those, they're all kind of similar. A typical plan is an eventual b5, so that could be something that black may want to play. So maybe playing a4 here as white isn't such a bad idea, just to stop that typical advance. But castling, avoid a hassle, always castle. So castling isn't necessarily bad either. Queen c7, and bishop e3. So one thing about this opening we see that's being played is it kind of resembles another opening. And that's one thing that happens if you play chess long enough. You start to see that openings start to have the same structures and the same ideas. And sometimes there's things that'll maybe start out as one opening, but they'll have a feature of another opening. And this particularly kind of resembles a closed Sicilian. So if you know how the closed Sicilian is played, normally in the closed Sicilian you'll play h3 before putting your bishop on e3. And the reason is that the knight can go to g4 and harass this bishop usually. So that's why white usually wants to go with h3, and that way if after bishop e3, or after something like this, let's just put some moves on, there is no knight g4. Because, well, he could play it, but I don't think it would be too good. But he could still do it. Okay, back to bishop e3. h6, king h1. So the reason white probably played this is what I'm thinking, is he wants to play f4 but doesn't want the king on the diagonal. Because usually that's a problem. But in this case, I think that white would be okay with just going with the immediate e4, just trying to take full advantage of the center. If he wants to go with that plan, then I think right away is what you should go for. Okay, king h1, h5. So black starts an attack on the side of the board, and white plays f4, which is the principled way of fighting against an attack on the wing, is playing in the center. In this case, it doesn't quite work out though, because after h4, this pawn starts to cause a little bit of trouble due to the fact that this rook is lined up with the king. So maybe that king would be better on g1 still. Okay. And let's go ahead, let's keep looking through. F takes e5. This is something that white shouldn't have done, because now you see that the black pieces suddenly become active. After knight takes e5, suddenly the black pieces are starting to have some more options. Like this knight was a bit restrained before, but now you're opening up these diagonals, and these knights, and this knight isn't on d7 anymore. This bishop suddenly is open, and so suddenly black gets some activity. Okay, white plays the natural bishop takes on g3. Not making any mistakes like this. Because, you gotta watch out for this rook. He's setting up all types of crazy stuff. But plays just the natural move that makes sense, just not giving up the bishop for the knight. Okay. And here we go. Here comes the winning tactic. Knight takes on h2. And here we go. Here's the point, is that if bishop takes, then knight to g4, and this bishop is going to be lost because it's pinned, and this king is very open. And so this is where the game ends. Black wins. And, yeah. Pretty interesting game. Not very long at all. This white king is just a very weak piece. And, black is not gonna let white escape, and it's gonna be a pretty easy game, just taking the king out the rest of the game. Alright, so thanks for watching, thanks for sending in the game. Alright, send me more games, everybody. Bye.